Hello my friends, my name is Venextron and it is 5:20 a.m. and I can't think of a better time to record the fourth video of the Eldritch theory. This will bring the theory to a conclusion, and anything that I do after this video will be in a more discussion format, and I might have my friend Brad on and we'll do it in a more podcast style. But this is the fourth video. As the title says, the darkness in our future, I'm going to be looking at Lightfall. Now, I do understand Witch Queen is in between Beyond Light and Lightfall, so I'm going to briefly mention that, but the majority of the video is going to be about Lightfall and what I think is going to take place in that expansion, looking at our theory, it's our theory now, and everything that could have in store for the future. Just before I begin, a quick disclaimer: this video is going to be referencing this video here. I should have an annotation for that video here. If you haven't seen that video, watch that first, or else you're not going to understand any of this. After this disclaimer, I'm going to assume you've seen the main video of the Eldritch theory, and yeah, okay. Also, just want to quickly mention, this video is using parts of the 13,000 word script, which these 4 videos all originate from. Now, I've already said this before in all the videos. It was originally 1 video, and now I've broken it down into these 4. However, if you want access to the full script, I will have a link to my Storyfire channel in the description below. Please note, Storyfire is still a work in progress. You can't currently read things on the website, so download the app if you want to check it out. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. Now, the first video, the origin and history of the darkness and the light, I introduced you to the gardener and the winner, where we looked at their, origin, their not personalities, but their motivations and whatever. Then, in the second video, being the main video, by the time of me recording this, I still don't have a title for it, but the big boy, all about the Eldritch race. We looked at the origin and the true nature of the pyramid ships and the race inside, and all the evidence backing that up. The third video, the secrets of Beyond Light, we looked at Beyond Light, obviously. We looked at the motivations of the pyramid ship fleet, and the people inside during the collapse. We looked at why they haven't all destroyed us yet, why they want us to go to Europa specifically, all that fun stuff. And now we're going to be talking about Lightfall. Now, to actually begin with Lightfall to actually talk about Lightfall and Witch Queen, we need to first look at how would Beyond Light end, which I think just makes sense. Now, this is purely just a prediction. I'm not even going to say this is most likely what's going to happen. But if I had to take a guess, okay, this is a guess. This is just a guess. This is how I wouldn't be surprised if it goes this way. In the Secrets of Beyond Light, I talked about the possibility of us being confronted with an Eldritch god, being the guy inspired by the Egyptian god Set. This was taken from the Cloud Strike sniper rifle. If this is true, originally, I believed that Set was going to be a raid boss. I only thought it made sense. If you have a pyramid ship as a key part of a destination, it only makes sense to use it as a raid. I still am holding out hope that there's a chance of that being a thing still, but all evidence is pointing to the Deepstone Crypt being the raid. And I'm not even happy that at the moment it's looking like the Deepstone Crypt is on Europa. As far as I see it, if Kate 6 says it's on Enceladus, it should be on Enceladus, but whatever. So, okay, the pyramid ship isn't the raid. If Set is actually a thing, well, when do we kill him? My guess is it would probably be the final story mission. This makes sense for one reason, and that reason is that Cloud Strike potentially would just be in the same category as Wormhusk and the other Zol exotics. So, you should know this, but if you don't know this, or if you haven't done it, I don't know. When you beat Warmind the campaign, depending on your class, you're given an exotic armor piece. However, once Last Wish was introduced, we were introduced once again to the concept of a raid having a specific weapon that has a chance to drop. No more quests like Acreus. And the quest form wouldn't return until Garden of Salvation. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to pull up this weapon here. This seems to be the raid exotic from my guess. It's a stasis weapon. It has that kind of Clovis Bray theme. And if it's a Clovis Bray raid, the Clovis Bray weapon with stasis would make sense to be the raid weapon. So, like I said, it seems to me, if my theory is correct, we'll be killing Set at the end of the campaign and will be awarded with the sniper rifle. That's just what I think. So anyway, how would Beyond Light end if this is the case? Well, Set is an Apophis. Set, as far as I know, has never been referenced in any of the pictures that I've shown you in the main video. As far as I know, apart from potentially some indicators being in the collector's edition of Beyond Light, apart from that, in the world of Destiny, there is nothing hinting at the Egyptian god Set. Nothing. So clearly, he is not the top of the pantheon. He is a god, sure, an Eldritch god. He's one of the first risen. He's still miles above us, but he's not the leader by any means. So us killing him, sure, it's going to upset a lot of pyramid people, but it's not going to cripple the overall race. I think this is going to change how the pyramid ships potentially look at us, or those inside. Like I said in The Secrets of Beyond Light, the pyramid people, or the Eldritch race, they seek to manipulate us, and that is exactly why they want us to be on Europa. They want us to be given stasis, and that'll create a leash that connects us to them, and they'll have some certain degree of control over us. That being said, I honestly do not believe it is their intention at all. Whoever's in charge, I do not believe it's part of the plan for one of their number to die. Not this soon anyway. Sure, it might not be that crippling a blow to the overall race or the people, but still it's an irreplaceable loss. I still think the Eldritch race, or whoever it is that's communicating with us, I still think they're going to remain cocky, arrogant, and all that, but I think underneath the bravado, they're going to treat us with a little bit more respect. As for the rest of the fleet, I'm not too sure what they're going to do in Beyond Light. I don't even know if they're going to be mentioned, or not mentioned, but seen. I'm not even going to guess at what they're going to do, because I don't know. Okay, so that's how I kind of think Beyond Light's going to end. Obviously, Aramis is going to be dead. I'm not going to speculate as to if any of our beloved characters are going to die. They could not. Either way, this doesn't really affect Lightfall for me. Witch Queen's going to be a speed bump. The Hive are a husk of what they used to be. Oryx, the most powerful being in existence at one stage, is dead. His children are dead. The Hive all under him are for the most part broken. Savathun remains in all of her strength. Xivu Arath has given her strength to Savathun. Xivu Arath was never one to really lead or boast authority. She was strong, sure, well she is strong, but she always was the type to just follow in the footsteps of a more confident leader. Savathun understands the position she's in. She is still dealing with the worm appetite. And that is precisely why the whole thing with the Dreaming City happened. I'm not going to get into that, but for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you understand that she is trying to break the link between the Hive and the worms. There are also potential leaks, or not leaks, but there are potential links between her and, I think it's the worm god Air or maybe I don't know. But you have to wonder, would a worm god continue to support Savathun if she's trying to break the link between the Hive and the worm gods? I don't know. My personal belief is that if Savathun is actually going this course, it would make sense for her to lose the support of the Worm Gods. And if that's the case, that is really going to hurt her. Why am I saying this? Well, I think Savathun is not as powerful as we're all being led to believe. I think she's strong, sure. I don't think she's as strong as Oryx. I don't think she's going to prove nearly as great a threat as the pyramid ships will. I think that's just obvious. Not only that, but she is in direct defiance of the pyramid ships and the darkness. And the darkness... No, well, the darkness doesn't care, and the pyramid ships see her as a disobedient child. I think they will use us as the tool to destroy her. The possibility of the Hive joining us, similar to the Fallen, is non-existent. The Hive have done far too much to be even worthy of the notion of forgiveness, and besides, I don't think it's in Savathun's vocabulary to even try and join us. So I don't think it's going to happen. So what do I think is going to happen in Witch Queen? I think Savathun is going to sit nicely in position for us, and we're going to kill her, and the Hive are going to be ripped out of existence. That's it. That's Witch Queen. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, that's that done. Now for Lightfall. Lightfall is not going to be about the pyramid ships. Lightfall is going to be about the Winnower. As I said in the Secrets of Beyond Light, when the Traveler woke up after the Red War, the pyramid ships began to move there. The Winnower did not. The Winnower only began moving in our direction once we reached the pyramid ship on the moon. Why is that? The reason why is because us reaching the pyramid ship meant reaching the very heart of the Hive fortifications on the moon. And by us reaching that site that they worshipped, as seen in one of the story missions in Shadowkeep, that meant that we would have had to have utterly broken the Hive. And that is something that the Guardians, even the greatest army of Guardians ever amassed, has never been able to do in centuries up until this point. When we did that, when we entered the pyramid, we broke the Hive, and to the Winnower, that's finally a sign that we are strong enough to be approached. Now, why is us being strong enough? Why does that matter? Because we're not stronger than the pyramid ships and those inside. Well, it goes back to the game that I mentioned in the first video, the origin of light and darkness, the game. The game being how the universe is going to end, and those trying to assist that end, and those trying to prevent it. The Gardener and the Winnower. When the Gardener created the Risen at the end of the collapse, I believe I said this in the third video. When the Gardener created the Risen, these incredibly powerful beings had no memories, no allegiances, no moral code. And by creating them with their ghosts to, control them to a certain extent, the Gardener basically said to the Winnower, I believe that these incredibly powerful beings with no memories, no allegiances, and no moral codes will use their given power to help create a world that I believe in. And them doing that, them going out of their way without any interference from the outside, without any assistance from me, will prove my argument that all things should not die and that life is precious and should be protected. We, the Guardians, are the proof of her argument. Not the Risen, the Guardians. Like I said, being risen is a state of being. Guardian is a profession, it's a choice. The Guardians chose to create a city and protect all of those inside from all outside threats. But what you need to understand is by us destroying the Hive on the moon, we have, to a certain extent, destroyed those threats. The Cabal are broken. The Fallen have all gone to Europa or are joining us. The Vex have their own goals. They've never once attacked Earth. As far as I see it, we're done. We've won. The winner knows that. And he sees we have made our choice, we have made our city, and we have successfully protected it, and it is now standing. And so now it is his turn to come in and encourage us to leave the city and the traveler. Now, why does he want to do that? It's a simple reason. He could easily go in, crack open the traveler, and drag out the gardener. He could easily destroy Earth if he wanted to, most likely. But in getting the Guardians, not just the Risen, but the Guardians specifically, to say, no, we agree with him, that isn't just ending the gardener's argument. It's sticking in a knife and twisting it with the ones she created. In a way, it's cheating, but it's really cheeky, because the winnower, or the gardener, because the gardener can't say anything in her defense. The gardener can't make the traveler do anything to help us, because that would be interference. That would be her tampering with her argument. But the winnower never said anything about him not being allowed to do that, and that's exactly what he's going to do. If the gardener is right, then it doesn't matter what the winnower does. Her argument will always stand. But if the winnower is able to, and he's going to certainly try, he's going to get that argument to fall apart by itself. And that is what I believe Lightfall is. The pyramids are going to be at full strength, the winnower is going to join them, and together they are going to advance. And the Guardians are going to be left with a simple choice. Join the darkness or die. And we are going to be split 50-50. Now, this goes for the community as well as the characters in the world. We've seen with warlords, we've seen with the Dredgens, we've seen with mercenaries and all kinds of people that have abused their power. The Risen are not all unanimously agreed to follow the Gardener's path. And the same is for the community. I don't know how many times I've seen people be like, oh, I would totally join the darkness, or oh, I'm not a guardian, I'm a dredgen. And so even if it's an in-game choice, similar to the Drifter against the Vanguard, I think the Guardians and the players are going to be split 50-50. And like Luke Smith said, this will bring us to a moment. Do I have any predictions about how it's going to end? I do. And I think it's the obvious and the scenario that makes the most sense. It all goes back to the Vault of Glass, where Atheon, the conflicts of time, is casting us between the past and the future and the present, trying to strand us between realities. But that one sentence comes up. Guardians make their own fate. We have leashes on us, and we will have 3 leashes by the time of Lightfall. A leash to the Gardener, in terms of the ghosts that grant us our light and our, I guess, invincibility to a certain extent. We will have a leash connecting us to the pyramids in terms of stasis that they've given us, and because they've given it to us, they will have a chain around our necks. And we will have chains to the winnower, because 50% of us, or more, are going to join him. And not only that, but it's basically going to be a debate where with 2 people where only one is speaking. In the end, I say we just kill them all. I say we become strong enough to destroy the pyramids. I say we destroy the winnower and the gardener. It wouldn't break the world. You need to remember that the winnower and the gardener created the universes by accident. By accident. This isn't even power they probably knew they had. So, if we were to destroy them, the universe wouldn't end. It would be like our universe where everything's just normal. And yeah, that's the best thing. If the gardener wins, life will never end. Instead of a dark hell, we will be given a bright one. There will be endless suffering, darkness, non-existent, weakness forever in battle against strength. And it will be miserable. It will be miserable. If the winnower wins, we die. Everything dies. Because in the end, everything becomes weak, and I honestly believe Oryx is the greatest proof of that. In the end, the universe will end, And most likely, the winner will probably move on to the other universes that he mistakenly created. So, if you want any sense of normality, we need to break the chains and become free. And that is what the moment is that I believe is being referred to by Luke Smith in Nightfall. After that, I have no idea. I don't think we'll have our light anymore, but we will have protected humanity from all enemy races. We would have become legend, and in the end, the only enemies left will be ourselves. Now that might have sounded philosophical or whatever, but that's just honestly, how I think it's going to go. And that concludes the Eldritch theory. The origin and history of the darkness and the light. The true nature of the pyramid ships and the human race inside them. The secrets of beyond light and the darkness in our future. You combine all of those together and you have my argument as to using the past, the present, and the future to basically say how everything's going to end. My friends, if these series of videos are the only ones you watch, then I am eternally grateful, because this is probably going to be the most... I don't even know how to put it. I will probably never work this hard on a series of videos again. I've been working on this since May. I've spent so many countless hours on this with my friends. And this is the greatest mystery. The pyramid ships will always be the greatest mystery Destiny will ever have. And nothing will come close to beating that. Not the Ahamkara, not the Nine, none of it. Once this mystery is done, nothing else will ever top it. And if this theory is correct, then you know I was the only one who believed this, but I ended up being right. And that makes me happy. If I'm wrong, then I'm not going to be, well, oh, sorry, I was wrong. Because, you know what, to a certain extent, yes, there is speculation. But to a certain extent, something as simple as the gardener being female and the winnower being male. The darkness not being the pyramid ships. This isn't opinion. This is written and baked in cutscenes, pictures, and in the written lore. And if Bungie decides to go away from this in Beyond Light, they're not going away from me. They're going away from continuity. So if I'm wrong, it is what it is. Alright, my friends. Thank you for watching this video and any others that I make. My name is Venextron, and this has been the Eldritch Theory.